afternoon. We're joined with Mr. Ben Bulatao. He's the Chief Operating Officer of Comclar Network and Technology. Good afternoon, Ben. Welcome to the show.
afternoon.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, Ben, let's start with this. What's the real story behind the state of connectivity in the Philippines today?
Well, in terms of infrastructure, we have enough infrastructure connecting all the islands. There's 4G and it's already expanding. And satellite, which actually covers all the small islands that cannot be reached by fiber. But the main issue here, the scarcity, is on the distribution. So we have our fiber landing on each island, but on the commercial business districts, I think we are already catching up with our ASEAN neighbors. But in terms of rural areas, there are still some unserved and underserved. So ang problema is that it's more like cost of getting there
Yes, the cost.
and also the time to be there. But there's already a satellite, which is Starlink low Earth orbit. It actually is very affordable now, and it enables you to reach those far-flung areas.
So, sir, what are the biggest struggles that you see in terms of expanding access? Is it technology? Is it cost? Or is it really connectivity and cooperation with other, let's say, corporations doing the same thing?
Well, actually, those three are should be considered, like cost, technology, and cooperation. But cooperation actually opens up access to the technology. Um, we have seen in the past, it's more like the way we execute rolling out infrastructure, especially when some government, even on the private sector, nagkakaroon ng parang hindi coordinated on how to execute. Mainly because of how government regulates. But if we can cooperate with the LGUs, with government agencies, the operators, there should be some sort of a pre-development plan. Especially, ng isang struggle namin ngayon is how to get permits and access to common infrastructure. So, but then with the advent of the Konektadong Pinoy, it now actually encourages for shared infrastructure and mostly, if I may emphasize, when we build horizontal infrastructure like roads and highways, kailangan nandun na rin yung mga infrastructure where you could the lines or the conduits, the fiber ducts, access to poles. Ayun ang mga kailangan and shared infrastructure para mapabilis.
May hindi pa magkakaroon ng problema na when you say shared infrastructure, especially it's a very competitive space also, especially with the big players. Now, if you say shared lines, how will that work?
When you say shared infrastructure, like right now, when you look at the poles, parang spaghetti yung mga kable, di ba? But you can, in other countries, in a first world country, they provide a common infrastructure there where everybody can have access. Kasi when it is not shared, like everybody actually puts up their own, it actually becomes costly. Shared infrastructure provides you with cost efficiencies.
It doesn't necessarily mean shared connectivity.
No, not necessarily. Infrastructure like yung mga middle mile, kung tawagin ka, you have the backbone. The middle mile to put you in cities and municipalities, and you have the distribution. Ito yung papunta na sa mga bahay at saka mga building. Yung middle mile pwedeng shared na rin yan eh. Actually, what the public don't know is that among the telcos, we actually swap capacities to provide resiliency and backup. We don't need necessarily build another backbone. But for resiliency and redundancy, nagswap na lang kami.
So in your observation, when we look on the ground, we still have the highest cost in internet packages, and also the slowest in terms of connectivity and fast network. How will the Konektadong Pinoy help that and ease the cost and create greater capacity for faster internet here in the Philippines?
Well, technology and policy should go hand in hand, and there should be like a collaboration or more like cooperation between the private sector and the public sector. Ang isang approach kasi yan dapat yung PPP. We have a problem like private, public and private partnership. I think it's something that we should look into and provide more of that. the Konektadong Pinoy actually mandates that it's going to open up. But then uh, they have to release, I think, the implementing rules and regulation. Part of that is that access to common infrastructure like fiber ducts, pole access. At the same time, there should be what do you call this, fair access to spectrum sa frequency. Kasi one of the fastest way to provide connectivity is wireless.
Yeah.
So, but then there should be we should abstract and review on how you charge spectrum users fee. So, and at the same time, we should take a look at it and implement it from a holistic view. So, para i-bring down natin yung cost. And that it will have an maging inclusive na rin, lahat maka-access dun sa technology.
But today, you've been in this industry for quite some time. You've seen the frustrations of people in terms of connectivity. You said if the government has a good communication between the private sector, like a private-public partnership, how do you see it now with Konektadong Pinoy in place? And do you see it really flourishing after this in terms of, you said, shared network, shared infrastructure?
Okay. When you look at the local government code, when you go out there and deploy the infrastructure, you actually, because of the bureaucratic setup right now,
Yeah. A lot of red tape.
yes, hindi lang yun. Kakausapin mo ang barangay captain, kakausapin mo ang LGU, governors and mayors. It's so, that takes a lot of time.
And it takes months.
And it's months because the local government code, kailangan pati homeowners association. So, if that can be pre-agreed upon prior to that, mabilis ang road.
Nangyayari na ba? Nakakaroon pa ba ng ganyan? Or ngayon pa lang? No dialogue between government and public?
We have dialogues. When you say dialogues or like talking to these local government officers, but we do it one at a time. Pagdating mo ron, very tedious. Pagdating mo ron, kausapin mo to. Ay, hindi, punta ka doon ulit. Di ba? And sometimes, di ba, barangay captains and homeowner, mayroon silang, di ba, like maybe differing opinions. So, nahihirapan, doon nag-delay.
Now, how does Comclark work to be able to provide better service to the Filipinos?
Well, right now, Comclark, we are actually advocating shared infrastructure. And we are now, we've already connected we have 20 domestic cable landing stations through our subsidiary, which is Converge ICT. And we have around 5 or 8 submarine cables. So this capacity is not lacking already. It is not a scarcity of technology, but more on rolling out the last mile, the distribution portion.
Which is infrastructure.
Part of the infrastructure, because you have the backbone, you have the middle mile, and then the last mile. Last mile being the distribution to the area.
Sir, now do you think with Konektadong Pinoy in place and kung may implement siya properly, magkakaroon talaga ng inclusivity and bababa ba yung cost natin sa internet at bibilis ba compared to our Asian neighbors na ang taas na ng connectivity nila, mabilis at mas mura pa sa atin?
Actually, looking at the Republic Act 12234, diba, that is the Konektadong Pinoy, it actually spells out on how the public sector and the private sector should collaborate and roll out the network. They have to release the implementing rules and guidelines, and it should be fair, it should be friendly also. At the same time, meron sila doon tinatawag na big ones policy. Kasi every time na lang mag-roll out ka, you have to dig the pavement. So big ones policy, you have a common infrastructure, so you have to put your fiber only. And then on the pole access, common na rin yung pole access. You just have to interconnect at the point of interconnection.
Ganun ba yun? Parang ginawa sa BGC, underground na lahat?
Underground, pwede naman gawin.
Kasi makikita na yung spaghetti sa taas,
Yes,
no?
kasi hazardous pa yun.
Yeah.
It's very hazardous. At the same time, everybody actually, like each telco operator, will have to climb that pole. And when you climb that pole, nai-istorbo mo yung ibang installation. Pag may common infra ka, it would be more more efficient, at the same time, mas orderly when you do interconnection.
Now, how do you make sure that connectivity reaches the far-flung areas? Like you said na hindi sobrang laki ang bayad at baba pa ng speed nila. At talagang total inclusivity talaga.
Yeah, there are so many technologies available. As I said, the LGUs, the other government agencies, and the private sector should talk. And that there should be a pre-planning before rolling out the infrastructure. Kasi pag nagpunta ka doon sa ground, then doon mo lang malalaman yung mga challenges. It becomes costly kasi ang dami mong delay. Isa yun sa mga nagpapadelay sa'yo. But then, if you roll it out in a more efficient manner, dire-diretso lang, mas bababa yan. At the same time, for areas where the market should don't want to go or have difficulty in going, magbigay na lang ng incentive. Oo, i-subsidize muna ng government. Because minsan kasi ang government nagtitingin sa
Tulad ng ginagawa nila sa PEZA, right?
costing. Cost, sabi na, mas mura. So, hindi naman yung mura kasi government should help in the development of the community.
Pag nangyari yun, sir, na yung isang small town, far-flung area becomes very connected, how much of a difference will it make in that town?
It makes a lot of difference because it stabilizes commerce, and then everybody will be connected. They will have access to digital services, especially in the MSMEs. They should look at the internet as something like a profit lever rather than what do they call this, operational expense. Kasi bibilis ang transaction mo. Your sales cycle mas mabilis. Makakasingil ka. Kasi ang cost ngayon is that when you are offline, you will lose customers, your logistics
Everybody's
increases.
online now.
Yes. Oh, so it's actually a driver for profit.
And halos lahat ng mga Pinoy may cellphone. Kahit sa mga probinsya.
It opens up your access to local market and globally. You can be an active participant in the global economy.
Now today, what kind of innovations that is Comclark doing to be able to, I said, ride the wave or continue to grow in this very competitive industry?
Right now, we are actually employing satellite technology. We have partnership with Starlink, and the price of that has gone very, very cost effective as opposed to the old technology na talagang very costly. So, Starlink have democratized the access to internet.
Yes.
And it enables you to go to that area where fiber cannot go. But of course, in terms of service talaga, walang makakatalo sa fiber. As much as possible, we should put fiber there. And it's more cost effective because sa satellite, you have to lease and there's a finite life, di ba? Ang fiber, medyo mahaba ang buhay niyan. Can stay there for 50 years.
So talagang the infrastructure is very important. Now, Sir Ben, when you talk to entrepreneurs, what kind of advice do you give them for those individuals or businesses who still think internet is an expense?
As I said, it's actually a profit lever. Because the real cost is when you are offline. Ayun talaga ang problema. Pag ikaw offline,
Pag
you
offline
have
ka.
to be online because everything is there na. And then we are already living in an AI world where everything will be done online as a digital service. We have to leverage this. So take a look at it's already a necessity. It's no longer something that you use for the browse YouTube or social media, but it's a necessity for business.
Now, how do you envision the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years here in the Philippines? Do you think we're going to be really fully connected by then?
Well, it's something that we, on our actions today, we should forget the past. It's more like, what are we going to do moving forward? The passage of the Konektadong Pinoy is something, if properly implemented with the rules and regulations in place that are friendly, it will actually hasten the connectivity and we'll have an inclusive digital economy. An inclusive digital economy is when a family, their monthly budget can support their internet access, so they will have access to government services, access to health, access to education, and then it actually leverages the playing field for everybody.
And finally, Ben, we always ask this at the end of the show. You just have to fill in the blank. Money is the root of all.
It's so difficult to.
Usually, the simple answer is money is the root of all evil. But for you, for somebody in the industry,
Money is a very great instrument. It's how the people use it. It's the great instrument. You can use it for good, you can use it for bad. It's like a technology. Technology is actually neutral. It's how the people that will make use of it.
that's very good advice. Ben, thank you for joining us, telling us all these insights, and hopefully one day we can also say that we have faster connectivity, lower cost in our internet compared to our Asian neighbors. Because we, as you said, if you're not connected, you're at the losing end of the stick. And thank you for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for your
Richard.
time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank
Okay,
you.
and that's our show today. Thanks for watching. Keep it here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.